Hello there and welcome to our channel. This month it's about a year and a half since I started gearing up to become a coach, and it's time already to do some kind of sums and see what has worked, what hasn't worked, and especially understanding a little bit more how and if we can help people that are doing PhD with a coaching hat. Okay, stay tuned and you will learn more. I think before we get there, we should think about what is an ideal coach and in which kind of profession arena a coach can do a very good job. If you read about coaching, you will pretty quickly understand that coaching it's very well down into things like sports, okay, and a football coach, or a personal trainer, personal coach in sport. It's an ideal place to be. Why? The coach there can play football in place of the football players, as well as if you've got a runner, the coach can run for you. All right. So if you're a runner, you need to pull up the effort. The coach is there to support you, to encourage you, to make sure you go far beyond your capability, or at least what you think are your limits. Okay, so the coach is there to get the best out of what you got, but don't run in place of you, man. That's why this is an ideal place for being a coach. A coach, even if you want, he can't. He cannot run a marathon for you, man. All right. You can't. Now let's go back to our arena. If you see what is out there in the web, people that claim they do coaching, okay, well, they offer things like help. There are some specific price too for looking at your thesis. For looking at your papers and helping you out with even experiments and things like this. That shouldn't be coaching. That should be something else. Okay, and so coaching in our world, it's much more difficult because you're tempted to cross that line, which is the line that kind of separate you as a person that encourage the coachee to do better what they do, and actually to do much more and in a better way what they do, and instead do it yourself as a coach. So this line, it's kind of very blurred into something which isn't like coaching for sport. Coaching for sport, it's a clear cut. Okay, the coach cannot run in your place. The coach cannot be on the tennis pitch to play in your place. Instead, in our arena, this demarcation line isn't there. The coach can actually do part of your thesis. The coach can actually read part of your thesis and make corrections to your thesis. Okay, despite some of them say, I don't do it. Okay, so when we get into this kind of situation, then we're doing quite a lot of damage to people out there. Okay, so I think this happens in any profession. It's not just limited to coaching. It's also in in many other professions, where people step out of their boundaries, and it's fine to step up of your boundary from now and then, once in a while, it's out. It's fine to make an error, a mistake, but to persevere in doing this, or even to plan from the outset to do these things and call it coaching, I think there is a bit of criminal inside of that. Okay? And there is a noble aspect of it, which is, how much it costs. Coaching is quite expensive. So if someone comes to you with some need, which is kind of tutoring, mentoring, or even, consulting sometimes, I have time to time people that, call me and they ask me if I can do something for their exams, It's tempting, obviously, but for coaching, if you do something like this, okay, for coaching, you really have doing several kind of damage to the person receiving the service from you. Then the second thing is that you essentially are getting paid much more than a tutor, a mentor will get paid. Okay, so you are getting money for what you are not doing actually. Okay, it looks like you're doing more work because you're doing yourself, but it's much more difficult to be a coach and to make that person leap forward than to just write piece of thesis for them. Okay, and then it's also damage to the reputation of the coaching industry overall. I think the coaching industry is the ultimate kind of place where you, as a support function for other people, you can be. There is nothing more than that. This is the really top we have. So if you kind of do instead mentoring or tutoring for students, and that's a big desertion. Okay, right. Now that we are kind of understood, okay, what is the potential pitfall, let's say, and what are the temptations that that all of us have to get our hands kind of dirty and do the nitty-gritty work that other people should do. Let's see, how do we rectify this, and what kind of things I have developed over the last 18, 19 months since I conceived, okay, to have a sort of coaching role, and started getting equipped, okay, with things that I need in order to do this. Okay, and before we understand what can be done and how it can be done, then it's important to take the kind of look at the mindset and also the expectation of the people that come and they look for help, okay, and they also have a distorted view of what coaching is. Very few people that I have come across, okay, which have approached me for getting help with their PhD, had a very good appreciation of what coaching is. So this is not therefore our own and only fault of stepping out of our boundary and doing things that we shouldn't be doing as a coach. But there is also a distorted view into the marketplace, and especially into the people that approach us in the first place to get help from us. Okay, so we need to take this in account somehow. And what have I done? Okay, in this respect, I also from time to time, offer help as a tutor, but outside of this, coaching business, something, kind of outside. And then, I'm a tutor, someone that helps people up until, university courses, not postgraduate, until university courses, And there, it's clear from the outset that, I have much more freedom. I actually have to help those people understanding the subject, what they're doing. And, I have to get my hands dirty, okay, in that respect. I have to show them how I will solve something. And, probably even sometime repeat the same thing several times until they got, that message and they understood, my thinking process and how I solved it. So because I also see this part of it, and it's relatively clear in my mind what is coaching, what is tutoring. I've been doing also some consulting for company in the past. So I know that part too, what is consulting. And what I can see is that even from a tutoring standpoint, there are some people that come and they essentially almost pretend that you play the role of a consultant. Consultant paying you, almost nothing for it. So they pretend that you solve things for them. And, they expect that you turn up and, so having seen this all, then, I have developed a little strategy to deal with it. I cannot stop these people to approach me in the first place. And, some of them are quite determined, okay? They may see that I'm able to help them, but, they want something else from what I'm prepared to offer, okay? And then, they play a bit, they start on the right foot, and then little by little they move things to what they wanted to get in the first place, And, I've developed this simple kind of approach. I'll tell them that, this is not something I agree with, and, things should change, and, and I'll say, there is some, we have to set a deadline by when, this thing change. And with some people, it works, okay? They understand that, they cross the boundary. They understand also that, you are not prepared, okay, to do that kind of thing they're asking, and they go somewhere else. Fine. Okay? But there are some that still persevere after you tell them. Okay, it's very clear their initial intention were just this. Okay, to get from you what they wanted, regardless of what you want to do. Okay? Well, in those cases, then what I do is I just let the actual package of, that they have bought run out. It will run out at some point, and then don't accept them anymore. Okay, it's as simple as this. Okay? So I don't do damage to them, even though they have tried. Okay, and sometimes even they succeeded. Okay, to get things from me that I didn't want to give. But there is a time limit. After which, when their package they bought runs out, I'm not going to accept any other renewal from them. Okay? Lucky enough, there is enough out there that we can make a living on. That we can not be really cherry picking, but we can be selective. Let's say, okay. Because as I said, it's really important to be the person with the hat you have decided to put on, and not someone else. Someone else would do damage to them, damage to you, and damage to the reputation of that particular industry, that particular category of people, you know. Therefore, I developed this kind of strategy, and so far it has pretty much worked. Okay, but at the beginning I had some issues because I didn't know how to approach this, and I thought I'm gonna scare off customers, which can bring some more business to me themselves, or can suggest other people to approach me. So I was a bit concerned about this. But then as things grew, and I had also this other thing that I work on, which is tutoring. Okay, then I understood. Okay, now I have the leverage. Okay, to decide what is right, what is not right for me, and as I should do it. Okay? And that's what I wanted to say. Okay? We do have the power to make changes. Changes don't happen on their own, and especially they are not painless. They come with some pain for you, some pain for others. Okay, as far as you don't do deliberate damage to others, you have the right, to say what you want to do. And this is my message for this month.